This episode of Walt Disney World Today is being sponsored by Owner's Locker, which is a great service for storing your junk. Yes, we've all got junk, some in our trunk, and others we bring to Walt Disney World with us. So why not leave your unwanted junk in Orlando, and then when you come back for your next trip, why not have that junk delivered to your resort for you? It's a great service that I can personally say that I use on all my trips. So why not give it a try? Visit them at www.ownerslocker.com.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
And it's Monday, March 3rd, 2008, and this is episode 378 of Walt Disney World Today. I got it in there. I'm Matt Hodgford from StudioCentral.com. On the show today, we have Mike Scopa of All Ears Net. Welcome, Mike.
This is a very moving moment. Yeah, I wish they'd move it to Pittsburgh.
Muppets.
Waldorf and Statler. And also on the show, we have Len Testa, co-author of the Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World. Look one.
How's it going, Matt?
Outstanding. And also joining us today is Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. Hi, Mike.
Doing that ad read, it reminded me of, what's her face that sings that song? What you gonna do with all that junk?
From the Black Eyed Peas?
Yeah.
Fergie?
What's her name?
Fergie,
that's it.
Yeah, that's right. All Yo Jen. That's what they should do is their theme song. That'd be great.
It's called My Humps.
Yeah, My Hump.
I don't know, but the first time I heard that song, it made my brain hurt. It's gotta be the stupidest
Kind
song
of like
ever.
the World of Motion theme.
No, it's worse.
It's worse.
It's worse. Oh God.
That's
In
pretty
fact,
funny.
it was sort of like it's sort of like an audio train wreck. You know you shouldn't listen, but you have to in order to
And
hear
then
how
you're
it
singing
ends.
to Dawn later.
I know. I mean, seriously, I think I needed to turn in my Mensa card when I was done with that because there's no way I qualify anymore. There's just no way. Is there a video for that song? I haven't seen. I don't watch that much TV, but is there a video for that?
I bet there
Google
is.
your friend.
Oh Lord! All right. Well, you guys talk. That's why I'll be YouTubing this for a second. Then hold on.
Send me the link.
Scopa's
Len.
heart's going to stop if he sees that video. Again, I should say. On
Again.
today's show, we're talking about the 2008 Flower and Garden Festival, which is going on in Epcot. It'll be going on from March 19th to June 1st of this year. This is the 15th annual of time this event's been held. Now, this is an interesting event. I've never been to it. This will be my first time going this year. Len, you said, I think before we started recording, you said you hadn't been down here for this in, 2 years?
2 years.
And you're, as I recall, though, you're a fan of this event. You do like it.
I am. I think it's very pretty. The last couple times, I was there, they had just added the statue garden or the art garden, and that part was very good. I haven't been into the butterfly tent since it was expanded, obviously because I'm scared of insects crawling all over me. But especially butterflies.
Real or perceived.
Exactly. So, but yeah, overall, I think it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
One of the events that you mentioned was the butterfly thing. Why don't you tell people about the butterfly exhibit?
Again, I haven't been in it in a while, but it's a rather large tent that in Future World, and it's got we walk through, and it's sort of like an aviary, but for butterflies, and they're all over the cages, and they fly around and they land on you, and it's butterflies.
Nice. It's butterflies.
It's considered bad form, by the way, to swat at them. I'm told.
Uh,
Or like to run screaming from the tent, going, "My eyes!" That's just. Like, can you imagine like running out of it with a stream of butterflies chasing you? You know, what it would look like from across the lake. We should do that. We should go down and do it.
there you go. We'll douse you in honey, and then we'll have you run out of there.
What do butterflies eat?
Pollen.
Do they really?
Do they? I don't know.
I guess so. Yeah.
That would be bees. I thought bees are attracted to pollen. Yeah, well, mental note. Scopa's not designing the costume for this little stunt.
About butter.
Bees and
Butter.
butterflies.
Oh god. Anyway, there's for many of the weekends there's a theme that goes on for them. There's like I Dig Bugs, Green, which is about being more ecologically friendly. Art in the Garden, Characters in Blossom, Outdoor Living, Garden Party. So they try to basically have, when they had the theme, they have these events that kind of focus more on some of the theme that's going on. So some of them have like the Florida Farmers Market is going to focus more on, I think, they have events like Visit the Ultimate Florida Farmers Market at Garden Town. I don't know what that Garden Town, but they have that option there. They also have Central Florida gardening celebrity Tom McCubbin. I guess that's a big name down here. I'm not sure. Who's an American gardener, and he'll be appearing also over there. And they have different event. I mean, we'll post a link in the show notes to all those different events that you have over there. One of the things, though, that I think that you have in every single weekend, and Newell, you can talk a little bit more about this, is the Flower Power Concert Series. The Flower Power Concert Series is interesting because they have a lot of different acts that come in over there. These are all acts from, I think we could call them all oldies. I don't think there's anyone in here that's from newer than the 70s. Would that be right?
Tony Orlando and Dawn back this year.
Tony Orlando. It's just Tony Orlando.
Ribbon around the old.
They are oldies, that's for sure. Oh no, actually, April 1st and to the 3rd, the Nelsons are there. They're not that old.
That's right.
They're from the 90s.
That's the.
I saw
I have
them
a great.
one time.
Yeah, the Nelson
I have a
twins.
great Christina story for that.
What? For sure.
She actually saw them, the Gunnar and Matthew. She and has an album, an actual record album, autographed by them, and just thought it was for like a week. Thought they were the greatest group ever. Every time Love and Affection comes on, which is the name of their hit, their greatest hit.
One hit wonders.
Yeah, exactly. If they're one hit, I have to call her on my cell phone, even if I'm driving 60 miles an hour down the road. I will take my life into my own hands to taunt her about Nelson. And
That album's really good. That first album that they put out.
Oh, you were the one that bought it? You were that guy?
I went and saw them. Oh
no
man,
kidding.
yeah.
Oh,
I saw
about
them
that?
twice.
Oh, actually, BJ Thomas is there too. You saw them twice
Yeah,
on purpose?
yeah. They're really good.
See, I saw Rat like 3 times, but only because they opened for other people, and I really couldn't leave the.
That's different.
It was different. Tony Orlando is there, May 28th to June 1st. I told you. Oh,
One of the things that they have one of the big things about.
Gary Puckett's playing Mars. Isn't he dead? Didn't he play for the Twins?
No, that's Kirby Puckett.
Oh, yeah,
He's
yeah.
not dead. Oh, yeah, he is dead. Yeah, he is dead. One of the big things, obviously, with Flower and Garden, they have the topiaries all around the parks, and you can actually see them. Don't they usually keep them up even after Flower and Garden? Some of the topiaries, I remember seeing them. Yeah. These are really, I mean, if you really have an affinity for them, they're done very well. A lot of them, do they all have a Disney theme, Scopa? Or are they just like, whatever we can make into a topiary, make into a topiary?
I think in most cases they are they are a Disney theme. One of the nice things about the topiary exhibits is that if you wander through Future World, you will see from time to time little displays as to how topiaries are made, the different stages. I know that when you walk through towards Soarin', towards the land pavilion on the left-hand side, just as you come from underneath Interventions or whatever that area is, I think it's the character stop. On the left-hand side, there is usually a little display there as how topiaries are done. So that's kind of interesting. And for the most part, you'll see like a goofy topiary in different stages. So they show guests exactly how the topiaries progress over time. Cool.
And now is Flower Garden, is this, except for the Flower Power Garden series, which I know happens in the theater over there in the American Pavilion, is this just a Future World event, or is there something going on in the countries as well, in the World Showcase?
Oh no, the countries have all kinds of stuff. They have oh my God, they have a lot of that's where you'll find the gardeners, the famous gardener series, and you'll have a lot of the discussions will be over there. Like when you go to let me see, I'm trying to think where
I see one over. They have one over here. I'm seeing the Lift and Sniff Fragrance Garden at the France Pavilion.
France, yeah.
Is that the worst named thing in the world?
Lift and Sniff?
Lift and Sniff.
Well, I'm sure we can come up with some others, but
it's actually not that bad. So it's how botanicals contribute to perfume making. So they're actually small boxes with different scents along the way, and it's sort of like a garden maze. My researchers who did it last year told me it was one of the better put together exhibits, actually. And there's other gardening stuff in Italy, for example, in Germany.
One of the things I think you mentioned, Len, that you like is the Disney Gardening at Home presentations, where they like kind of give you like real life at home gardening tips.
Yeah, so they typically do. We took this last year. They typically do stuff in World Showcase around themes, like one year it was backyard parties, and I think does Home Depot still sponsor this?
It's a good question. I'm not seeing them on here, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not sponsoring it. I was going to call it the Home Depot event,
exactly,
because that's what it is.
Yeah, so they'll do so the at home event is when Disney's horticulturalists teach you how to do stuff at home like they do in the parks, but the backdrop to it is usually this theme thing that Home Depot does, where it's like, backyard grilling, and they've got the Mondo grill set up with a patio, with a jacuzzi in it, and this grill that you could cook an entire steer on if you had to. And exactly, and a bunch of other stuff. Or they've got different tips for backyard parties, like a wedding theme and a luau theme and a kid's birthday theme. Just some really interesting stuff. I gotta throw some pictures on the website for that, because it's really a lot of fun.
Oh, cool. Scopa, you were gonna say, did you figure out where Garden Town is, by the way?
From what I understand, there will be a Garden Town Festival Center that will be located right near where the Universe of Energy is. I'm not sure where. I'm guessing it's going to be towards where Wonders of Life.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe
that's what I was thinking. That's where the I believe that's where the Gardner series is going to be. I'm not sure about that, but I'm assuming that's where it's going to be. I don't recall it. I don't recall this festival center ever being over there. I always recall seeing specific spots in World Showcase, but never in Future World. So be interesting.
What are some other events at Flower and Garden that anyone really would say that is certainly not to be missed, or you should definitely check out?
The kids, there's a lot of things going on with the kids. I know that they have what was it last year? They started doing something with the Peter Pan's Neverland Garden. Yeah, they would have Alice and the Mad Hatter. They had a lot of Disney characters roaming around and interacting with the guests and specifically the children in that area. I don't recall where that was. I want to say it was down towards the as you're moving from Future World to World Showcase towards the right hand side as you're approaching the Rose Garden area near Canada. I believe that's where that is.
One of the events here says a miniature German landscape and village that sets the scene for the elaborate garden railway and bridge walkway at the Germany Pavilion. Isn't that the usual, just that little train scene over there?
No, that's where they do the Ladybug thing too. The Ladybug releases again, which is if any of our listeners can do this, get video of it. As soon as they release the Ladybugs, just run screaming from the area, going, "My eyes, my eyes!" Ah!
I think we need to send Christina down for a special trip.
Exactly. Do it. Actually, don't they do something in every World Showcase country now? They do like a spice thing over in Morocco. They do something in Norway with trolls.
Would you guys say that this event is like an observation event, meaning like you go there and it's like, oh, you observe the topiaries, you observe these different demonstrations, or does this have some real life connotations to it, meaning you can be, this might actually educate you beyond just useless knowledge?
Some of the stuff some of the products that they exhibit are useful. Like they had one a couple years back. It was a gel it was a water activated gel that you could put in your plants, like if you're going to be gone for a week.
I remember that. Yeah.
So you put the gel in water to activate it. It absorbs the water, and then it slowly releases the water over time, providing water to your plants without you having to actually be there. It was pretty clever. I don't know if it caught on or what the cost of it was.
Do they have those for children? That would be really good. You just stick them with a cube.
Exactly.
The cube will feed you.
I mean, imagine for food, yeah, and then you come back a week later, yeah. Dogs, same thing. Just kidding.
Fish.
So, Newell, are there any acts and the Flower Powder concert series, rather, that you would say that you've heard good things about?
Besides the
'Cause some
Nelsons?
of them are literally corpses that they put on there.
Yeah, most of them are. The one that I would interested in seeing is May 16th and the 17th is Jose Feliciano.
Feliz
darn it.
Navidad.
That's the first song that came to my mind too.
My wife has seen him twice.
On purpose?
Again, on purpose, not like in a Kroger or something like that either.
Other than that, there's really, these are big names, but I mean, for my musical taste,
Nursing home?
yeah, for my musical taste, I mean, I don't know. There's not really much that I would go see.
Well, let me ask you this, Newell. This is a dumb question. What's the difference between the Who and the Guess Who? Are they like a knockoff?
on.
That's a ridiculous question. I'm not even going to answer that. Len, I mean,
I like
right?
But yeah, oh my God. Come
All
on,
I'm going to
Matt.
say is guess.
Yeah, so they're the cheap knockoff band that's trying to ride their coattails. Is that basically
No,
it?
it's a totally different band. It has nothing to do with the Who.
Well, they're two of the three words they have in common of their name.
That is true, but you know,
It's March. What day does this thing begin? March 19th?
March 19th,
yeah.
yes.
That's a Tuesday.
What Wednesday? What day does it end?
June 1st? No.
Boy, they've expanded
June
it
1st,
from last year. Last year, I think it was just for 2 months. Now this looks like this is
75 days.
two and a half months. Wow.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
a long time.
There's a lot of different events, and you really should take a look at. We'll put a link in the show notes to All Ears Net, where they have a bunch of information on some trivia and the different events that are going on. And you know, it's very interesting because the great thing about this event is that it's not the same event every weekend. You know, you'll go to a lot of these different events that Disney holds during the year, and like Food and Wine is the same Food and Wine throughout the span of it in a given year. But really, you have these different themed weekends, so you can really, target it. Whether maybe last year you were there for something along the lines of the Bugs weekend, and this year you want to go and you want to get some more information, maybe about the home gardening weekend, and that might be something you might want to target. You can definitely look into these, and some of them have a lot more stuff than others. The Bugs weekend, the I Dig Bugs, they have quite a bit over there going on, and while others have not as much going on, but certainly there's a lot of different things going on over here, and you got to take a look at it, I think, and see what appeals more to you, and kind of go from there. Any last recommendations about Flower and Garden Weekend?
Yeah, one thing that I always enjoy, Matt, is that when you're crossing from Future World over on that bridge, the bridge that connects Future World with World Showcase, the waterway on each side is just filled with flowers. They're floating bouquets, and I think that's very photogenic. There's also a butterfly display near Minnie's Magnificent Butterfly Garden. They have a floral display on the side of the banks of the where the water is, and that looks pretty good. I mean, very, very nice area to take some really pretty photos.
Great. Well, that's it for us today. Again, this episode of Walt Disney World Today has been sponsored by Owner's Locker, which is great for all that junk that you get at the Flower and Garden Festival. You can just put it all in your Owner's Locker, and you don't have to fly it back up to cold New Hampshire where it will die as soon as it reaches, when you bring it outside. Keep it in your Owner's Locker, so that way all that great stuff that you get over there, you'll have it back on your next trip, or maybe you'll bring it back with you when it's a little bit warmer, maybe when the temperature ekes above like 0. They have a free trial, risk-free. Try them out at www.ownerslocker.com. And if you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, visit the Walt Disney World Today website at wdwtoday.com. For Len Testa, Mike Scopel, and Mike Newell, I'm Matt Hotchford. We'll see you on the next show.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.